YouTube, welcome back. I'm here again in Yorkshire. I haven't done a video like this in a while, but today we're here to visit multiple properties that I've currently sourced, and now we're taking through the refurbishment stage here in Yorkshire. So let's take a look around this first property. So we're starting today in this project, which is just south of Bradford, and we're doing this on behalf of our great clients, Jason and Alison. So they signed up for our sourcing service, which includes the project management and then the handover to the letting agent. Now, this project is about 20% done, and in today's video we're going to visit multiple projects at different levels. So like one that's like 20%, one at 40%, maybe one at 80%, and then maybe one that's completely done and ready to be rented, just so I can show you the different stages of what we produce. Property X has rapidly grown over the last 14 months, and I haven't been able to fully document that, but we've gone from, sourcing our first few properties back in 2021 to now having sourced over 60 properties, working with loads of clients. And we've now refined our service so that we can offer this full end-to-end service where we source, we do the refurb, and we help with the letting or handing it over to a letting agent. And we can do that now within the Northwest, which is where we started, and within this year, the last kind of 9, 10 or 11 months, let's say, we've managed to expand over to West Yorkshire. And a massive reason we've been able to do that is with Joe, who now works for Property X, who I will introduce to you in the next property.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what.
So we just arrived at the next project, which is actually one of Joe's. Now Joe works with Property X, he's a previous guest of the channel, but I wanted to bring him back on because you have been such a pivotal part of growing what I do here in West Yorkshire, for one, and number two, because you're on the road to that elusive number 10 or the 10 buy-to-lets, aren't you?
Hopefully by Christmas.
And last time you came on, you were on number
4. I think we were just finishing up number 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which was only April this year, which is crazy to say that, because your road from 1 to 4 buy-to-lets was obviously quite a bit longer.
Like six years, not really knowing what I was doing, making mistakes. And then number 4, I think we were just saying before, is kind of where I got my model that worked really well, and this year's just been copy and paste on the 4, and this has been the number 8 now.
Brilliant. Yeah, so you've gone like 4 to 10 hopefully by the end of the year.
Yeah.
So that's amazing, and obviously, as I say, you've been a huge part of Property X, helping me. You've been the man on the ground, you helped source, you're helping obviously oversee these refurbs as well. I thought I'd bring you on with this house. Obviously this is one of yours, and this is one that's getting close to finish, but I thought I could get you to talk a bit about the 1 to 2 bed conversion model that you do, which you're becoming an expert
at. It seems to be what every house turns into now. I think basically I found, being in West Yorkshire, there's a lot of mining towns that are on the train line to Leeds or Bradford, so a stop or two away, and there's good rental demand there, but not many people want a 1-bedroom house. It's normally a very large 1-bedroom and then a largish bathroom. So what we do is we turn the original bathroom into a 2nd bedroom, a single room, or a study. There's a lot of requirement for that and demand, and then we're putting the bathroom at the back of the original large bedroom, which we've got upstairs so we can show you. But it's not that difficult to do in these types of houses. I basically just could see how it could be done, and I'm just picking these up really cheap at the moment.
For those that might say, well, but isn't the 2nd bedroom going to be really small? Any comments on that, and is it actually a better or a worse thing when it comes to the type of tenant he finds?
Yeah, of course. So generally people want a 2nd bedroom if they've got a child, or actually a lot of places tend to be a couple that I found that are renting these, and they just want an office or somewhere else to use, even if a gym. I think like COVID showed that people want their own space, even if it's smaller, and these 1-bedroom houses are just not that desirable. So it's a better situation. It's it'd be better if they were all double bedrooms, or but that's, you just work with the space you've got, and the demand is there when people want to rent 2-bedroom houses.
Yeah, and actually, you pick them up at a cheaper price. You're very good with your refurbs at keeping those costs down, being very efficient with what you buy, what you work with, get the end value, and then actually the ROI of the new rent as a 2-bed versus what you've paid for it is quite good as well.
Yeah, exactly. The rent on a 2-bed's way more than a single bed. So yeah, and the things with a 1-bedroom house, not many people want to buy them. So the price is down, and then when you're getting into a 2-bed, it's massively increasing the value, and you're getting better rental demand.
Fab.
It's just a bit of a gap.
Yeah, good. Well, I appreciate you letting us have a look around today. What we're going to do in here, Joe, what's the plan with the kitchen, for example? What's already started with the kitchen?
So what we did straight away, the boiler was up in the bedroom. I originally thought we'd have to replace the boiler, but it's actually in really good nick. So we've just run this down and put it into the kitchen. It's just better having boilers not in bedrooms with possible carbon monoxide leakages and stuff like that. So got it in, had to have full service and been piped up. This kitchen, like the worktop is past its best, but the units are okay. We're just going to repair these and realign the doors a little bit. So new worktop, new splashback around and get this boxed in.
When you say new splashback, as in new tiling?
Yes, these tiles actually are stickers. You can kind of see if you look close. So we're going to knock all these off.
They're good. They look real. As in like
They don't look good enough to me.
No, but as in like as stickers. They look.
Yeah, it's
like
true.
real,
It's
don't
true.
they?
It takes a moment to notice it, but you can see they're not quite
Yeah,
lining
that's
up.
true.
But yeah, we'll get some nice grey metric tiles in here, and we'll use the same tiles for the bathroom just to keep it simple. Black grout, brand new worktop, and new flooring. This will look really smart.
And through this door.
So down here is the cellar. There's nothing too exciting down there. Basically, we're going to replace this door, and this is going to be decorated white, nice and fresh, and a new fresh grey carpet. This staircase is absolutely ginormous.
Yeah. So this is the main bedroom, and this is, as I mentioned earlier, another 1 to 2 bed conversion. So yeah, walk us through where the bathroom's going to go, how it will look.
Yeah, I mean it's super simple. To be honest, what I always measure is I need 1700 mil for a bath. So if that's that space, and it's about 1800 this. I can see straight away we've got a bath here, toilet, sink, and we'll build a stud wall out this way. We'll get rid of that door, and we'll have another small stud wall here, and we'll have a door into the bathroom, and then a door into the new double bedroom, which is still a really good size.
And then obviously the old, where the boiler was.
We'll probably take that out, if not, put some shelves in it and make some use out of it.
Yeah.
And then that radiator will move onto the new stud wall here. And then the bed will go here, so we'll like to put an electrical socket here. There's one there already, we'll get a third one in here.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, let's have a look at the current bathroom before it gets ripped out.
Yes. So this is a bit of a funny shaped bathroom, but again, it's quite a large room. Just change the light, the glass out for clear.
Yep.
Big window. We'll take the extractor out, knock all these tiles off, fresh carpet, skimmed and plastered, and new white walls. It'll be a nice little room. It's not a small room.
Not
see
small,
exactly
though.
where the bed would be. You get a chest of drawers here and a TV on the wall or something.
Yeah, well, like we mentioned earlier, like perfect for like study.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could easily see an office here. We'll
Yeah.
get 2 or 3 plugs in here.
No, it's a really good little house.
This will be probably finished, I'd like to say, end of January. I'll have this done.
Yeah, and then we can hand the keys over to the letting agent. So we've got currently got a couple of really good letting agents that Joe's worked with lots before, and that we're now passing our clients over to because you've got good experiences.
Yeah.
We trust them now. So yeah, it's all just part of our like full end-to-end service. And whilst we're here, the next thing for us to do is I'm going to take some pictures, do a video for the client, just so that every week we keep them updated with the works. You know, tell them when they need to pay us for certain tradespeople, and make sure that they can be as hands-off as possible, basically. And whilst we're in the house today, I think it'd be really useful for people watching. Would you mind walking us through the step-by-step process that you'll take? For example, that you'll take this house through when we are project managing it, when we're getting the trades in. What would you do step by step?
Where do you start
Yeah.
and end? It can vary slightly depending on the property, but for this one we've started with gas and moved the boiler downstairs for just safety reasons. Really, it's a better place for it to be. After gas, we'll go for this house. We're going to join her in and put the first fix stud walling in here. Then the electrician knows where to drop his cables down for first fix for the switches.
Yep.
And also the plumber will know where to put pipework for the radiators that will go into this wall. Once that's been done, we'll then get the boards put on the stud and plaster. We want to get plastering, especially this time of year, plastering early because it takes a long time to dry. Once the plastering's done, we get the plumbers in to rip out that bathroom and put the bathroom into this side. Then once that's done, we'll get the decorators in and then second fix on the electrics. Once decorators done, then we get the flooring down. Perfect. Flooring's last, start from the top and work down. You do not want to be painting on brand new carpets.
No, yeah,
But,
100%.
yeah, that's it. It's quite simple, really, but that's the flow.
Yeah, that's really useful, I think, for anyone listening. So final project of the day, and we're also in Batley for this one as well, and you're probably noticing a bit of a theme here. This project we're doing on behalf of some Property X clients, and they're using our end-to-end service, so the full works once again. This is a slightly more modern property that we picked up for a good price, managed to source it, and then obviously we're going to do the refurb and then be able to get that higher refinance at the end. When the clients actually completed on this property, the first few weeks to a month was a little bit stressful, as the tenants that they bought it with didn't want to leave and refused to leave. So I had to hit them with a kind of 2-stage offer in order to incentivize them to leave. Tenants have now left. It's in a little bit of a messy state. It's a bit gross, but Joe's going to come in here with the team and get it stripped out and start to obviously put a plan in place to make it a really nice house. We'll take a look around now and obviously show you around. So starting in the kitchen, obviously, walk us through the step-by-step plan, Joe.
To be honest, it's messy, this kitchen. You can see there's grease all up the wall. It's dirty, but it's not that much to sort, really. I think we are going to pull most of this out, this floor and everything, and the worktops. These are pretty sturdy, so I think they just need a good clean and repaint the units. New worktop, probably a new sink, and we're gonna, the ceiling, actually, because we've got the old tiles which are unsafe now, want to board and skim the ceiling, and then you've got a boiler there behind. I think it's going to be a brand new one, and just get that all up to standard because it looks very old. But yeah, that's it in it. And I'm gonna knock these tiles off as well.
Let's start again, do something a bit more modern, I think, as well. Yeah, like you said, like the nice worktops you do. Yeah, with you stripping it out, this will look good as new.
I can see it easily, and obviously a new flooring as well, because this is, you can't hear on the camera, it's very sticky. Yeah, I just need to pull it off. It's mostly just dirty, it just needs pulling off and freshening up.
Yeah, agreed. So walked out of the kitchen into the sitting room. Yes. Not a huge amount to say in here, other than the fact it's like a dining sitting room.
Yeah, it's a really good size. There isn't much to do here. This is just decoration job. The old tenants have left a load of plugs into my decorator. He'll yank those out, fill it, decorate it, nice and white, new curtain pole, so the new tenants can put their own carpets up, and new flooring throughout, put nice great brand new carpets down throughout. Yeah, again, easy. This is just redecoration and new carpets. We'll put new lights in that are white and energy saving, just makes the whole place look fresher.
So the bathroom.
Yeah, it's just, this bathroom, it's not actually that old, it's just not been done very well.
And we're not doing a conversion here, the bathroom's staying where the bathroom
straight
really
refurb.
Is, so.
Where we've just been, as soon as Malcolm's finished there, he'll come straight onto here. He does this for breakfast, this is his bread and butter. He'll just pull this out in a day and start putting it back together. Easy, and it'll be nice and white and fresh for the tenants when they move in.
Brilliant.
Easy.
So we've chosen this room because it's the only one with a bulb in. Tenant took the bulbs as a nice thanking gesture as they left.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah, but we've got 3 bedrooms here, haven't we? It's 2 good doubles. I mean, that one's a really good size.
Yeah.
This is a good double, and that's like a good size single, really, or a small double,
Yeah.
isn't it? So much work up here.
Again, they're just tired and a little bit neglected. Like, this just all needs redecorating and a nice new grey carpet. You can see there's going to be little jobs all over this house already. I can tell where.
Yeah,
they've taken the
door
handle for whatever reason. That's not expensive or hard to fix. I think this job's going to have a lot of like little niggly bits, which are going to be fine. Windows here, we'll have a look at in better light actually, because it might just be dirt. With houses like this, when they're that dirty, it's quite hard to work out, is it dirt or is there a problem? Mm-hmm. It's not actually damp, so I think it's just grimy. It needs a good clean out.
Yeah, a bit of moulds, isn't it?
Yeah,
Where the rooms haven't been aired properly.
Absolutely, we'll get the heating on and see what's what.
Yeah.
Sometimes around big windows like this, you can get some damp areas where there's not enough airflow, but it's really easy to put trickle vents into the tops of the windows, which just allow a little bit of air and stop any moisture building up like that.
And I'm back in the office after what feels like a long couple of weeks actually. Been travelling a lot, been doing a lot of business, but that's I guess how December goes really. You front load it, do a busy 2 or 3 weeks, and then you relax over Christmas. At least that's the plan anyway. But as you've seen from the video so far, I let Joe do a lot of the talking there because Joe is my man on the ground for Property X. Not only does he help me, shortlist and source properties on the front end, but on the back end, once the projects go through, he's my man on the ground. He is the person that is helping me organise these trades to come and do the works on these properties, but also check in on the quality of works when I'm not there, do the handover of keys and all of that side of things. Because whilst I am travelling kind of every other week, I'm in the Northwest, I'm in Yorkshire, I'm highly present there, I'm not there all the time. And of course, things come up every now and then where I'm not gonna be able to make it. So I need to have a really good team built around me that I can trust. And for me, Joe really is a very good representative of Property X. Now, I've kind of done the same and I'm mimicking that within the Northwest right now. I've worked with a few different people and kind of just building out sources throughout certain parts of the UK. But as I've mentioned, Property X is growing at a fairly rapid scale, but I want to be able to sustainably grow that whilst maintaining the high level of quality that we have so far. And I think a really important factor for me going forward is to be able to sustainably grow, because I want to be there, I want to be present, but I need really good people to be able to help me do that. Because if I want to grow this business further, which will allow me to find better deals for clients, to work with more clients and provide more properties to these clients, I need to let go of some parts and I need to be able to have a team that I can trust to do that. So as the business has scaled up, the really important focus for me now is to actually look at how sustainable it is to grow and maintain a high quality service. So that's really where all my focus is right now. As you'd have possibly seen, I've been buying properties this year, but I've kind of sacrificed my own growth with my own portfolio, because maybe if I went hell for leather with my own portfolio, I could have done 6, 7, 8 properties this year. However, I'm not. I'm probably going to be buying 2 to 4 properties like this year, next year, the year after, because I'm almost sacrificing my own portfolio growth in order to build a bigger machine. Because not only then I've got a source of income, which has allowed me to obviously leave my job, but because I have a bigger vision. I not only enjoy property investment, but I really enjoy building businesses. And that's a large focus for me, is to build this big business where I know I've got this marketing budget, I've got this team, and then we can find these sort of deals and then we can obviously refurbish these deals using that team. If I can build this bigger machine, not only can I provide really good property investments to any clients that work with Property X, but I can provide myself with better deals in the future. So perhaps I could 10x the growth of my portfolio in the future by spending a few years now sacrificing my own growth in order to build the bigger machine. So that's kind of the route in which I'm going right now. Every penny that I earned from the sourcing business, from the education business, reinvested. Let's build this team, let's build this business. And in the future, I'll no longer be buying 2, 3, 4 houses per year. I'll suddenly start buying 10, 11, 12 houses per year. At least I truly believe that, and I really think that's the point I will get to. So yeah, just thought I'd do a quick update as part of the end of this video. I've really enjoyed kind of sharing the different parts of those projects. Obviously there's bits we missed out in order to provide as much value as possible, but I'll be doing more videos like this one and the updates of those projects that you saw today. As always, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you next week.